In this case, the appellant, an advocate and solicitor, had taken money out from the client's account of the typing branch office for the purposes other than stated under the Rule 7 of the solicitor's account rules. The appellant had used the client's money to pay for overhead expenses for his typing branch office, as well as to cover the medical bills of him and his late wife. In doing so, the appellant did not produce any documentary evidence such as invoices and bills of the branch office billings printout to show that the drawings from the client's account were in respect of the legal fees or disbursement to which the law firm was entitled. And he also did not produce any letter of authorization to support the withdrawals. Consequently, he was then reported to the Bar Council's disciplinary committee. The disciplinary committee recommended that the appellant be struck of the role of advocates and solicitors of the High Court in Malaya, which the disciplinary board affirmed the recommendation pursuant to Section 103 D subsection 1 clause A of the Legal Profession Act 1976, which then the appellant appealed. The issue in this case is whether the appellant shall be struck of the role of advocates and solicitor of the High Court in Malaya for his conduct of misusing the client's money.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Aziz Iqbal bin Zubair. My metric number is 059733 and I will be representing the court decision in this case. The court decided to dismiss the appellant appeal for three reasons. The first reason is that the court held that the appellant's action of using and withdrawing the client's money were deemed dishonest and fraudulent under Section 94, subsection 3, clause C, and contrary to Section 94, subsection 3, clause K of the Legal Profession Act. The court also considered the appellant appeal but prioritized public interest and the need to maintain trust and standard in the legal provision. For the last reason, the court held that the Legal Profession Act 1976 aimed to ensure proper handling of clients' money and prevent misuse. Solicitors must keep clients' funds separate and promptly deposit them into the client's account. Any violation must be corrected immediately, and solicitor who mishandle client's account will face legal consequences.
Moving on to the legal principle that being referred into this case, the King and Correa 1926, the term admission is the genus of which confession is the species. This means that all confessions are admissions but not all admissions are confessions. A confession specifically involves a statement by an accused person admitting to the commission of an offence, whereas an admission can refer to any such statement suggesting any inference about the facts in issue or irrelevant facts. In Moragoli Sumangala and Kiribamune Piyadasi, 1955, an admission does not create a conclusive estoppel. It merely suggests an inference which a court of trial may properly take into account. The weight attached to an admission depends on many considerations. This highlights the non-conclusive nature of admissions, emphasizing that their impact depends on the context and additional factors. In M.A. Clyde and Wong Ah-mei and another 1970, the legal principle is the admission cannot be regarded as conclusive and it is open to the person who made it to explain it away. If not explained, it constitutes evidence against the person who made the admission. This principle reinforces that admissions are not final or absolute proof that the person who made the admission has the opportunity to provide context or explanation to mitigate its impact. So that's all from me, and I will pass the floor to another member. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Iza Atiram Musa. My matrix number is 061230. First, I would like to thank Ali Aresha for passing the floor to me. Now, I'll be continuing with other legal principles and authorities that we can observe from in this case. First, the court also referred to Rule 7 of Solicitor's Account Rules, where they held that there was non-compliance with the rules. So, Rule 7 actually specified for several purposes listed where money may be withdrawn from the client's account. Next, the court also referred to the Rule 2 of the same rule, which we can see as specified in this slide. The court also next referred to the case of Lee S. Fong, a solicitor, where the use of the money for personal reason is a misappropriation of money and is amounted to professional misconduct. So applying Rule 7 to the case, unfortunately the appellant had withdrew funds from the client's account to cover both his and his late wife's medical bills. The court did not see this as something which aligns with any of the purposes listed under this provision, hence constitutes a clear breach of this rule. Next, similarly, in applying Rule 2 to the case, the court had established that the money withdrawn by the appellants were in fact client's money and that the appellant's actions were illegal despite later repaying 16,950 ringgit to Jurubina Taiping in three-time installments. Last but not least, the court also referred to Rule 26 of the Conveyancing Practice Rulings, where it specified that they cannot use the money unless it aligns with the stakeholding terms or with all of the parties' consent. So the withdrawal and use of the client funds, despite the circumstances, the court held that the acts were dishonest and fraudulent as defined in Section 94, Clause 3, Clause C of the Legal Profession Act, which states that misconduct includes grave impropriety by a lawyer, whether in Malaysia or elsewhere.
As to the impact of the case, firstly, it upheld the standard and integrity of our legal profession. It ensured the public to stay confident and to keep having trust to our legal profession. It prevents other advocates and solicitors from misusing their clients' money. And lastly, it promotes fairness and equality. Regarding the first impact, which is it upheld the standard and integrity of legal profession, we must understand that lawyers must keep client information private unless the client gives informed consent or the disclosure is otherwise authorized or required by law. Next, lawyers must avoid situations where their personal interests conflict with those of their clients. If a conflict arises, they must address it appropriately, often by declining to represent both parties. Next, their communications with clients, courts, and others in the legal process must be truthful. This includes avoiding deceptive practices and presenting evidence and arguments in a fair and accurate manner. As for the second impact, which is this case ensure the public to stay confident and to keep having trust to our legal profession, we have to understand that clients entrust lawyers with sensitive information and significant financial resources. They trust if these funds are handled appropriately, fosters trust in the legal profession. When public know that there are trusted systems in place to prevent misuse of funds, it enhances overall confidence in the legal system and its practitioners. When the public sees that lawyers are held to high ethical standards, their confidence in seeking legal services increases. It can lead to a more ethical legal profession that benefits society as a whole.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Arif Fadilah bin Ghazwani. I will continue on the third impact for this case, which is to prevent other advocate and solicitor from misusing their clients' money. Lawyers that found guilty of financial misconduct might face a severe penalties, including fines, suspension, or disbarment. Preventing misuse ensure compliance with the bar regulation and to avoid this sanction. Preventive measure also ensure compliance with this regulation, avoiding legal repercussion for both lawyer and the law firms. Law firms have duty to act in the best interest of their client. Preventing misuse of the funds aligned with the ethical standards expected of this profession. Lawyer and law firms can maintain their reputation by preventing a financial misconduct. A single instance of misuse can irreparably damage a legal profession career and the firm's image. Okay, next I will continue on the last impact, which is ensuring fairness and equality. Upholding justice and integrity ensure that all individuals, regardless of their background or status, are treated equally before the law. This promotes a fair and just society. This foster a culture where a legal profession are motivated to work diligently and impartially, ensuring that justice is accessible to everyone. Lawyers are reminded of their duty to advocate zealously for their clients within the bounds of the law, to show that no one is above the law. As a result of this, the judiciary will seems to protect everyone, not just a selected person only. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.